Kabir operated on a simple rule. If you needed him, he was there. Morning, noon, or night, he made himself entirely available. This meant answering texts before the screen went dark. It meant acting as a permanent sounding board for everyone else's bad days. The word no simply wasn't in his vocabulary. He operated under the assumption that giving people unrestricted access to your time builds strong relationships. He believed that if you are always present, the bond is secure. But eventually, the dynamic shifted. The people who once relied on him almost daily started to quietly pull back. Interactions that used to be a comforting daily routine slowly stretched out. Those long, deep conversations became nothing more than quick, clipped texts. Soon, he was waiting days for a reply, and eventually, the replies stopped altogether. Kabir's initial reaction was to explain it away. He convinced himself it was a scheduling issue, that his friends were navigating a busy season at work or dealing with personal stress. Giving them the benefit of the doubt didn't close the gap. The distance kept growing, proving that his underlying logic about how to preserve relationships was flawed. Faced with this growing silence, Kabir deployed the only strategy he knew. He worked harder to bridge the gap. He initiated every interaction. He even double-texted. He checked in repeatedly on people who were clearly drifting, trying to keep the momentum alive through sheer force of will. Rather than pulling them back, his extra effort acted as a repellent. The closer he tried to get, the faster they retreated. To understand why this happens, we have to look at this supply and demand graph. As the supply of a resource, in this case your attention, arcs upward toward infinity, the perceived value of that resource drops toward zero. It is the paradox of convenience. When Kabir made himself endlessly available, he removed all scarcity from the equation. He stopped being treated as an individual whose time held intrinsic worth and became an inexhaustible free resource. Eventually, Kabir hit a wall. He stopped reaching out and checking in. His emotional battery had hit zero, leaving him without fuel to maintain a one-sided connection. Pumping excess energy into a one-sided dynamic doesn't repair the connection. It drains your own reserves until there's nothing left to give. Once he stopped initiating, the quiet set in. Days passed without a single incoming message, and those days quickly turned into weeks of unbroken silence. The silence clarified his actual standing. He wasn't a priority in their lives. He was simply a convenient option when they needed something. There is a distinct difference between being the person people turn to when they require a tool and being the person they actively choose because they value your intrinsic worth. To maintain this distinction, you need a boundary filter. Think of it like these two rings. The outer ring is access to your time, and the inner core is your effort. If people try to pass through that outer ring, they meet resistance, unless they apply an equal counterforce. Kabir didn't shut himself off. He simply activated this filter. He made his energy available exclusively to the people who demonstrated they were willing to match it. He maintained his empathy. He still listened and offered help when it was genuinely needed. But he actively revoked his time from anyone who routinely treated it as an entitlement. Over time, the space left by those who only valued convenience began to fill with a different kind of connection. By applying his new filter to everyone he met, Kabir naturally gravitated toward people who matched his investment. He stopped chasing, and in that stillness, he found the people who were already walking toward him. People rarely assign high value to something that is guaranteed to be there. We assign value based on the effort required to obtain and maintain a connection. Your effort is only visible and only truly appreciated when your presence is a choice, not a guarantee. Setting rigid boundaries doesn't drive away the people who matter. It isolates those who never valued you,